What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Auto Auction Rebuilds. Today, again, we're back with the Corvette. I'm determined to get this thing figured out, man. And today, we're going to try to put it back together enough we can take it on the road, take it for a 10-mile test drive. Now that we've changed out the coolant, we seem to have the main cooling fan working a whole lot better. With the water that's in it now, it should really be doing a great job of helping keeping things cooled down, considering the old coolant that came out of it was absolutely awful. Original to this car. This is the original Dex Cool that was in it. We got the new temperature sensor replaced. I think this car is going to run a whole lot better. We got brand new tires on it. I'm ready to take this thing out on the road and see how it does. And the only thing that I think is left keeping us from doing it, I mean, I've got the interior kind of torn apart right now, but this is my new seat bottom. If you guys remember, we had to destroy the old one and we ended up throwing it away. If you take, thanks, there we go. If you take this bottom off, and thanks to all of you that got in the comments and told me how this works, there is a release. Boy, these things are just so, they're so light. There's a spring release right here. See this? It kind of rotates. This is how you lock the seat bottom into this, and it's got a couple tabs here that it locks into. That's it. This part right here sits on top of this. Now, the problem is the car was flooded and the motors had gotten underwater. Well, I found this for, I don't remember how much it was. I found one for like $300 and something. But this one I think I got for like $150, and it's supposed to be good to go. Now, the one thing that I'm not going to do in this video, and I'm going to try to avoid doing, is replacing the wiring harness. I don't want to have to rip out the carpet to switch out the harness. I'm going to do my best to clean up the harness that's currently in the car. We're going to see if it works. If it does, great. If it doesn't, then we'll have to come back and remove the harness anyway. But the goal today is to get this car on the road and take it for the 10-mile test drive with its new Michelin tires. They're much stickier tires. It should make the car drive a whole lot better and verify that the cooling system is functioning properly. Not to worry, we are going to come back in another video, and I'm going to have to basically undo all of this because I've got some new parts coming in that's going to require removing the seats so that I can get under the dash and access things for the climate control and that kind of stuff. Unfortunately, those parts did not come in time, and this is a video I am determined to get done today. So I know that a lot of you are going to be upset that we're trying to reuse the wiring harness in the car when we have one that we could replace it with. By the way, these lights on Amazon, these are some of the best lights you can get, and they're super cheap. I'm going to put a link to these below. These things are incredible. You know what the best part is? When you're on camera, they're not sitting there causing the screen to do all kinds of weird stuff. Magnetic, they articulate 360 degrees. They can flip around completely backwards in half, forward. They've got the big light right here. Then you've got a light on the back, and you got a pin light up here, and then it turns off. And of course, magnetic. These are great lights. In fact, they're so great, they keep disappearing from my shop. I don't know where they keep going to, but they are disappearing at an alarming rate. I have to keep buying more of them. So let's take a look at what we have accomplished, and I'm going to see what you guys think, all right? Now, I know the popular opinion is that once a wiring harness has been submerged in salt water, it cannot be saved. And to some extent, you guys are probably right, but let's take a look at what we've got here. This is the original relay box. Take a look at it. Right? It actually looks really, really good. Here is the main harness that comes out of the floor. This was completely submerged as well. Take a look. Not bad, right? And let's take a look at some of the other wire harness connectors. A little discoloration, but still, they look really, really good. Here's another one. This one, maybe not as pretty as the rest of them, but the pins are in great shape, and the connectors look really, really solid. And here's the last one. This one has teeny tiny pins. These are a lot of fun to get into. Guys, I think these are fine. I really, really do. And it's maybe just wishful thinking. I'm going to get in here and clean this carpet up because this is disgusting. I'm going to get my shop vac in here, and then I'm going to clean this out because this is really gross. And I got to. I just got to. Now, if you're wondering what I do to kind of revive, and we'll find out if any of this stuff even works, but to revive these connectors, here's what I use. I start with, and this is a process, guys, Liqui-Moly electronic spray. None of this is sponsored, by the way. I want to make sure you understand. None of this is sponsored. This is Liqui-Moly electronic spray. I soak the harnesses, the pins, everything down with this stuff, and I let it eat for a good day or so, guys, just soaking in this. Then I come back, and a lot of you are not going to understand this, but this stuff seems to work great. This is battery cleaner with acid indicator. The reason I use this is because it foams, and it is an electrical cleaner, okay? So, yes, this is for batteries, but this stuff works great. And there's all kinds of other products you could try to use if you wanted to, but this is just what I do. This stuff foams up real nice and really gets into everything, at which point, while it's all foamed up, I get in there with a metal brush. I use one of these steel brushes, the silver ones. These are really abrasive. And all these fine little steel pieces of wire here, I just get in. And I mean, I really go at it, articulate all over 360 degrees, side to side, up and down, and dig in. You got to really put your finger and dig into those pins. All right, after you've done that to all of them, this is probably the most controversial part. A lot of people tell you don't ever use a solvent like this. It can make connectors brittle. It can tear up the wiring harness, but here's my take on it. It's already torn up. Guys, if it can't handle the brake cleaner or the carburetor cleaner, it's done. You need to replace it anyway. So afterwards, this is basically what I rinse with. Now, you could also rinse with alcohol, but what I like to do, this has high pressure, okay? I mean, this gets in there. I get in, I high pressure blast each little connector on the front side and the back, okay? Get in there and really blast everything. And that's where I end it. Then I dry it off with microfiber cloth. I let it sit here and just kind of dry out for a little while. Now, if you wanted to, you could also soak it in alcohol. If you've got some isopropyl alcohol, I have some. I don't do it that way, but you could. You could get you some of this. This is the good stuff. It doesn't matter where you buy it from, but 91%. This is the good stuff, okay? You could pour it in a little tub, and you could let that stuff kind of sit in there for a while. I've heard vinegar is another way of it. There's a million ways of cleaning wiring harnesses, guys. I'm not here to tell you what the right way is or the wrong way is. I'm here to tell you what my way is. Now, let me clean this up, and then we can start putting the seat back together, and we're going to cross our fingers that this works. Now you're probably wondering, what do I use to clean the carpets? I've got a custom solution. Basically any type of carpet cleaner that you can go out and buy at any store. Any kind of carpet cleaner, just mix it up, put it in a spray bottle, and look how this looks. I mean, it's pretty disgusting. Soak it down. Don't be afraid of getting it wet. I mean, after all, it was already wet, right? So soak this bad boy down, get it nice and wet. We'll extract using my Craftsman vacuum cleaner there. Just really spray this stuff on, and you're going to want to really get in here. Don't worry about the wires. Like I said, they've already been wet. Try not to get the harnesses, obviously the connectors, if you can. Move them out of the way as you need to spray difficult areas like this, and just keep soaking this whole thing down. Get it nice and wet. And then we're going to come back and we're going to hit the majority of this with a brush that I have right here. This is kind of a heavy duty way to do it. You can also use a drill. If you got a cordless drill, you can buy these little brush ends and you can just go ham on the carpet. This is a DA. This may be a little overkill for the job, but it does the trick. All right. So just take a look at what it looks like now. And I'm gonna let this stuff soak for a little bit. Don't be in a rush. That's another big thing, is don't rush this kind of stuff, guys. Let your carpet cleaner get in here and do some soaking and eating. In the corners, you're gonna need a stiff bristled brush of some kind, because with a DA like this, you're never gonna get into those corners. You get the big stuff in the middle, but for the corners, you're gonna need to manually get in there with a brush and just clean that stuff up, guys. I'm telling you, here in just a few minutes, you're gonna look at this side of the car, and you're never gonna be able to tell that there was any water in it at all. Well, forgive the noise from the air conditioners, guys. It started getting hot in here quick. So take a look. Tell me what you think. Let me get out of the shadow there. What do you think? It don't even look like the same car. Now, I know you're gonna see some staining there. That's not from the flood. It's actually from the seats. That's where the seat bottom and the plastics have been riding and scraping along the floor for a long time. But take a look at that, guys. She came out looking amazing. I also wiped down the dashboard, the center console, everything over here. She looks good. I wiped down this door. I think she's ready, guys. Let me get through my mess here. We're ready to put the seat bottom on, and then we got to mount this piece to the seat bottom after that's on. We're about to find out if this works, because we have to get this installed in the car. We can mount, this is the front, so we'll be able to mount the front 2 bolts, and then we're gonna have to plug it in and attempt to adjust the seat forward so that we can get to the back 2 bolts. And we're about to find out real quick if this thing is gonna work. I cleaned up the seats. I did not put any conditioner on this yet. Right now, the goal is just to get this thing out of the garage and get it down the road. Here's the seat bottom right here. I cleaned it up as best I could. Maybe with a little bit of steam cleaning and then some really heavy leather conditioning, these things might actually come back to life. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get in here. I've got a few brand new relays right here that are gonna go in this relay box. I'm gonna plug those in. We're gonna get the seat bottom in here, and we're about to find out if this is gonna work. You guys ready to find out if this is gonna work? I'm not so sure. We're gonna find out together though. I don't even remember how all that goes down there. I've got everything plugged back in except for the parts that go to the seat itself. So let's put the key in, and let's hope we didn't waste our time and of course our money. I gotta take the instrument cluster out. I gotta send that off to be repaired. Okay, so it's on the driver's side, seat forward, seat backward. I'll be damned. Down, up, up, down. It works. That's the back going up, back going down, front going up, front going down, and then, oh, that's the whole thing going down, and the whole thing going up, and sliding it forward. How nice. I told you guys. I told you guys, man. It's not my first rodeo on a flood car, guys. There we go. And with that, guess what? Our seat bottom is installed. Now we can just put the seat together and we're good to go. Look at that. I gotta figure out what to do with this, with all of these wires that are just kind of hanging out under here. You'd think there'd be somewhere for them to go, but I don't see like any mounting point for any of this stuff. And you don't want it to get run over by the seat, obviously. So see how this is now getting caught up? You don't want that there either. This needs to come forward. We're going to have to figure this out, guys. I don't know how this is supposed to go, but let's check the passenger side. Wait, passenger side, I said. Oh, it's still on the driver's side. All right. Well, looks like the switch up here does not work. Whatever. Man, I'm happy. The only seat I care about working is the driver's seat, man. I got to be able to adjust my seat so I can fit in this thing. Are we ready? Take this thing out on its second maiden voyage. I guess you can only have one maiden voyage, right? Here's one of the problems I'm having with this seat. So there's this piece right here, this like spring that's supposed to go under here, and then it clicks right here. I can't get it, even with it all the way down, I cannot get that spring out of there. So the seat just, for now, it just sits like that, I guess. There's nothing I can do, but leather's a little squeaky as it's rubbing up against everything here, but there you go. And if you need to recline your seat some, you just push this and recline your seat back. It goes down, up, forward, back, down, up. Here's something that doesn't work. The little air things, can you hear that? So the air pumps that air up the bags, wherever they are, they're all over the seat, I guess, but the air pumps that air this all up are bad. The relays are all working. You can hear them clicking, but there's a little pump that sits right here. I guess that's what this is. It's plugged in, and it does not function. So there's a few, honestly, the best thing to do if I'm being completely honest with you guys, is buy the whole seats. That would solve all the problems. I've had the whole seats. The problem is these are low mileage seats, and I don't want to go buy $700 worth of high mileage seats and stick them in here. So we're gonna have to figure it out. Let's make sure this thing starts. I put a tag on it. There we go. There we go. We've got a license plate on it. We don't do that very often, do we? We're legal. It's important. It's important that we're legal. No getting in trouble for silly stuff. Now here's the next thing I'm interested in. We installed and balanced these tires ourselves. It's our first set of balanced and installed tires. So I'm a little curious, did we balance them right? The machine said 0, so I'm hopeful that they're okay. Well, let's see what we got on the dash. We have a service ABS, probably an ABS sensor that was underwater, and that is probably why the stability program traction control light is on. These two are probably related to one another, so that's good. We can probably take care of those pretty easily. Service ride control, that's this. This always fails on these. Flood car or not, doesn't matter. The ride control always fails. And there's a million different things it could be. Anything from the module itself to the little contactors that are on the top of each one of the shock absorbers. It's hard to say, guys. Let me adjust my seat. I want this down. I don't like my seat being way up here. And let's scoot it back some. There we go. We're back. This feels like a pretty comfortable position. Bring the steering wheel down some. Here are those sticky tires. And you want to know what the best part of this is? Listen, guys, I showed you this in a previous video, but we got the radio. All right, radio works. But if we stick the cassette, and effective. All right, we got Meatloaf on the radio. Let me get buckled up, guys. Let's take this thing for a ride. We're gonna find out if the tires are balanced, and we're gonna make sure it doesn't overheat anymore. Then we're gonna come back and probably remove this instrument cluster and send it off to be repaired. And that way, we'll be able to find out for sure what the actual mileage of this car is. And like a bat out of hell, I'll be gone when the morning comes. If you know, you know. Boy, those tires sound so sticky. Oh my goodness. And those aren't summer tires. They're all season 4s. Let's close that door. Make sure she's gonna close for us there. The brakes feel amazing. The gauges look good. Oil pressure is great. The battery voltage is great. And the only thing on the dash that's complaining is ride control and ABS. There we go. Garage door is closing. Let's take her out for a drive, guys. I'm excited. I'm really excited because if everything goes well, we're gonna come back and spend even more money on her because that's what you do, right? Oh, hello. Listen, these tires are picking up every little rock on the road. Hopefully the suspension settles too while we're out and about. Easy. Oh, it drives so good. Shifts like butter. Steering wheel's perfectly straight. The tires made all the difference. All the difference. I'm not even kidding with you guys. It rides like a brand new car now. Before it was clunky and horrible, scary to drive. It really was like we were driving on ice. Now, smooth as silk, man. Smooth as... Oh, I'm actually falling in love with this car. I'm falling in love with this car. Whoa, there are papers flying. Uh-oh. Oh, no, no, no. Stay. I need to roll up the windows, but I don't remember where they are. There they are. Let's roll up the windows. I don't want all those papers flying out. I have no idea how fast we're going. I should probably turn on my speedometer app. Let's turn on the speedometer. I can tell you this, we should be going at least 55, and this thing is riding smooth as silk. So I turned the camera off so I could get my speedometer brought up here, my app. This is called speedometer, but guys, in case you're wondering, this is what I use. It keeps track of your trip and your speed. Speedometer is working properly. It says I'm going about 67 miles an hour, and we have cruise control set, guys. Cruise control works. Yeah, cruise control works. Take a look at these gauges, man. Everything is happy. This car is happy, and I'm proud to say, since it's been so long since I've done any kind of tire changing, tire balancing, I am very proud to say to you that balancing machine did perfect, because we are going almost 70 miles an hour right now, and the car is perfectly smooth. The other thing that surprises me is that the car is quiet. I'm used to General Motors vehicles from this era being very noisy, very rattly, creaky, clunky, and this car is unbelievably quiet. Now, we're gonna have to do a little pull on it, because anytime I tried to hit the accelerator when we did the trip the last time, you guys know what happened. The car slid out from under itself. Like the tires were spinning. And I mean, I'm all for spinning your tires. That's fun. It's a good time. But this was not fun. This was spinning your tires on a sheet of glass, like out of control. You couldn't predict where the car was gonna go, how it was gonna handle. It was completely out of control. Not acceptable, not fun. And I'll be the first to admit, now that I've spent $1,000 on a set of new Michelin Pilot Sport all-season 4s, my goal is not to come out here and rip the tires off of this car, okay? Those tires were, number one, very expensive, especially the back ones. And number two, they were very difficult to replace, especially the back ones. So we're probably not gonna come out here and rip the tires off. But here in just a second, we're at the end of the road here. We're coming up on the 5-mile mark. We are going to, we're going to turn around, make sure there's no traffic, and we're going to get into her just a little bit. And we're going to make sure that she's got all 300 horsepower that she's supposed to have. It doesn't sound like a lot by today's standards. The Kia Optima SX Turbo, I think, is somewhere around 300, 250 something horsepower. So by comparison, this car doesn't seem all that powerful anymore, but it feels fast, guys. Signals work. Oh, we're gonna pick up so many rocks here. Sticky, sticky tires. And the temperature gauge, by the way, if you guys remember before, and I'm going through all these bumps and the car is relatively quiet, other than this driver's seat that's kind of making a little bit of noise. If you remember when we were driving this thing before, we were on the road with it, cruising at highway speeds, and that temperature gauge was way, way up there. Look at it now, guys. Barely over halfway. Oh, undercover cop. Well, that's cute. Well, I'm sure glad whoa, easy. Jeez. This is a torquey car, like seriously. This thing is torquey. I'm gonna set the speedometer down. We're gonna stop here. And we're just gonna, you know. Oh, yes. Oh, yes! Woo! Ho, ho! Ho, ho, ho! We're not going to talk about how fast we're going, because we're not going fast at all. But we are going to slow. We're going to slow down. We're going to slow down considerably. Okay. So that was new. We're going to do that one more time. We don't have any traction control, guys. And I'm able to, the tires barely slip. Oh, I'm floored, guys. That's through the floor. Wow. Wow. Oh, yeah. Okay, look, man, stop it. Stop it. You know what else is crazy? I'm not going to tell you how fast we were going. We weren't going very fast at all. We never broke the speed limit, okay? Now that we got that out of the way, this Targa Top, this is not a T-top car. This is an Astro Roof. I think most people call it a Targa Top. No wind noise. Even from the windows, going at whatever speeds we were going that were well under the speed limit. No wind noise from this car at all. She loves to run. This car, man, look, let's just lay into it. Yeah, get it, girl. Eat, eat, eat. Oh, all of it. Straight to the rev limiter, man. Straight to the rev limiter. Let's slow down. We're not speeding or anything. Yeah, let's just slow down a little bit. All right, we'll set the cruise control. There you go. Look, cruise control is working. We ain't got to do nothing. So, for a long time, I've been kind of hard on the C4 Corvette. And I don't think that was fair. A lot of time, I've come out and I've said the C4 was boring. There was no technology, it wasn't powerful, it wasn't fun. And I can say these things because I have owned many C4s in my day. And the truth is, for the most part, they are kind of boring and bland and plain. I think they look great. I think they look phenomenal. The pop up and down headlights is what does it for me, man. A classic sign of the 70s, 80s, and 90s. Unfortunately, the C5 was the last generation to have the pop up and down headlights because they discontinued them with the sealed beam headlights after that, which is fine, but there's just something about the curves, the popping up and down of the headlights. In fact, let's pop those back. Look at that. Did you guys see that? Now let's flip them down. You see, oh, come on. How can you hate on pop up and down headlights? Look at that. Isn't that just beautiful, man? Isn't that just beautiful? Now, what's cool, if I remember right, is you can leave the headlights up and turn them off. If you put the parking lights on, see, now you turn them off, the headlights are completely off and they flip down. You turn them all the way on, they flip up. But now if you turn it one click back to parking lights, they stay up, but the headlights are off. I think it just gives it a super cool look, man. And as far as not being powerful and not being fun, bullshit. I was wrong. So they came out with the LT1, I think, for 92 all the way up to 96. Then in 97, they went to the LS. LS was like 350 horsepower for the LS1. And, you know, 50 extra horsepower from the LT1 is going to be noticeable. It's substantial. And then, of course, with the C5, you had all the handling improvements. Everything was improved with the C5. I'm not going to sit here and tell you the C4 is better. It is not. The C5 is better in every possible way. With that said, the C4 is such a great little car, and I mean little. It is much smaller than the C5 Corvette is. It's got less horsepower, but it's still a really fun car to drive. Guys, I'm telling you, if you've ever hated on the C4 because you've seen a bunch of people on YouTube saying that it sucks, including myself, don't listen to us, guys. We don't know what we're talking about. You take one of these, you go out and you rip on it. It is a blast. It's an absolute blast. The fact that I'm not ripping my tires off every time I floor it is great because now it hooks up. And it hooks up and it makes you feel like you're really moving. It puts you in your seat. It feels fast. Ladies and gentlemen, I love this car. Let's get out. Let's take a look at it because we have officially just gone and beat the hell out of this car, man. We really went out and kind of hammered on her. And again, the coolant was the issue the whole time. Take a look at where it's at now. Driving, it's staying nice and cool. All the gauges look good. Some people will get concerned about the oil pressure gauge being so low. That's right at 20 PSI, guys. 20 pounds of pressure. Believe me, that's fine. And I just heard the cooling fan kick in. Look at that. What more could you ask for? And there's no check engine light. That's a good sign. There's no check engine light. Unfortunately, none of the gauges work up here because all of this trip stuff goes through this lens, including our fuel level. I didn't think about that when I was out there ripping anyway, never mind. Oh, I think I almost broke this, I think. This is some kind of a protector that I guess somebody put on here. And never listen to me. If you ever decide to get a C4, never grab the steering wheel to pull yourself out. You will destroy your tilt mechanism, the bearings. You'll absolutely destroy them. Do not grab on this to get out. If you got to grab on something, grab on the pillar. Or better yet, just don't grab on anything. Climb out of the damn car like a man. All right. We're going to pop the hood. I hear the cooling fan. She's running. Where is the hood? Is it? This hood likes to stick. There we go. It didn't stick this time. I put some lube on it. The damn air compressor's running again. This thing keeps turning the air conditioning on. I hate that. It's because I don't have the programmer module installed, and that runs the climate control. So now that we've had her out, we've really kind of hammered on her. Guys, take a look. She's running great, nice and quiet. Great pressure on the cooling system. Brake fluid is full and very clean. Look how clean that is. Not even a tick. Nothing. This car is great, guys. Let's check the trans fluid. I'm not going to check the level. Just want to make sure it's not milky. Verify that there's no, look at that. Beautiful, beautiful transmission fluid. Nice and pink the way you want it. Power steering fluid. We're freezing up our lines, guys, because we don't have a blower motor. We don't have a blower motor, so we're literally, we better shut that off. We are freezing the air conditioning lines. Huh, that's interesting. Yeah, nice pressure on the cooling system. Unfortunately, the secondary fan's not on because we don't have a fuse. I forgot to replace the maxi fuse. There's a 40 amp maxi fuse that we needed for this. Exhaust. Listen, guys, she's perfect. Honestly, it's perfect. It's gonna need a little more work. Obviously, you'd want to change fluids and stuff like that. And the windshield wipers are falling apart. This car's been parked for a long, long time. It's gonna need a little bit of work. But at the end of the day, it's a beautiful car. We're gonna get that instrument cluster replaced. I'm probably gonna go ahead and take that out here in just a minute. We'll send it out. We'll get, not replaced, I mean repaired. And look at the headlights. They're popped up, but the headlights are not on. You got your fog lights right there, the parking lots. It's a beautiful car. And in my opinion, there's only one color to buy a Corvette in, and that's red, man. Freedom red, flame red, fire truck red, pull me over red, whatever the color is, torch red, red. It's just gotta be red. And if you can get red on red on red, oh my God, guys, come on. You can't look at this car and say, yeah, that's an ugly car. Can't do it, because you're lying. It's a beautiful car. Even the headlights aren't clicking and clacking. Oh wait, yeah, it is. I couldn't hear it over the engine. I'm gonna let the air conditioning kind of unfreeze for a little bit. Then I'm gonna take this thing back into the garage, and I'm gonna work on getting that instrument cluster out. I can't believe all this time I've felt so negatively about the C4, and I've owned them. I've had several C4s. I think maybe there's just a difference in the later models. You know, I'm not talking about the tune port injection C4s. Those are okay, but I wouldn't even bother buying one of those, guys. It would have to be this generation from 92 up to 96 with the LT1. But you get a benefit, I think, from 94 to 96. It could be, I think, yeah, 94 to 96. They were not the EEPROM style computers. These were the computers that you could actually plug into and tune with a laptop. Now, some people prefer the old school EEPROMs, and some people prefer programming with a laptop. Personally, I like the newer generation a little bit better. I think 94, 95, and 96, definitely the way to go. So guys, I had an absolute blast getting this thing back out on the road today, making sure that it's no longer getting hot, not even close to getting hot anymore. I had a lot of people tell me getting hot is how these things run, and I seem to remember that. I keep thinking some of my other C4s also ran hot, but this one was actually getting into the overheating where it was bubbling and boiling over. I mean, we were getting into like damaging things. So that is absolutely not normal. The way it's operating now is perfect. Now that we ran it on the 10 mile, after it sits here and cools down, I'll end up dumping the water. It's just water. I'll dump the water out of this thing and I'll fill it up again. I'll probably do that 2 or 3 times just to make sure I've got everything cleaned out. And then I want you guys to help me with something. Should I go back with DexCool, which is what this car calls for, or should we use like a more modern extended life coolant, like some of the Prestone stuff that they have now? It's like 300,000 mile coolant. maybe that would be better. I've heard so many bad things about Dexcool, guys, and I'm not a scientist, so I have no idea if Dexcool is good or bad. I think if changed properly within the time frame and the mileage, Dexcool is probably just fine. But you guys drop a comment and tell me what you think below. I'm gonna get this thing into the shop. I'm gonna get the instrument cluster out. We're gonna swap that, send it off to be repaired, and then we're gonna come back in another video. We're gonna find out how many miles this car actually has on it. If you enjoyed this video, hit the thumbs up button and let me know. Drop those comments below and consider subscribing to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Till next time, stay safe out there, everybody. I look forward to seeing you all again very soon in the next one.